how to get into real estate. So I did what a lot of people do, is I went and got my real estate license. That took me quite some time, but eventually I was able to acquire my license for the state of Tennessee. But shortly after that, I joined a wholesale group here in Memphis, and I was their Disposition Specialist. So a Disposition Specialist is someone who assigns properties that the wholesaler has under contract, and he assigns it to the investor. And so I was meeting a lot of investors, networking a lot. And this was 2 years ago when the market was really hot. I think the first couple properties I assigned, I came in with my laptop, typed out a little email. I was already pretty good with negotiations, and I assigned it 15 to 20,000 over asking out in Bartlett. And then it was kind of funny, the buyer was like, "Hey man, y'all made more on this property than we did." I was like, "Oh, well, thanks, I guess. I don't know." Nobody's like training me on like the proper whatever. Anyway, working for the wholesaler really showed me how to navigate transactions, negotiate real estate deals. Since I was able to walk so many properties with the wholesaler, I was able to get really good at estimating rehabs. I would ask the buyer, I'm like, "Hey, what do you think this rehab is going to cost?" And then I just keep doing that over and over and over again until now I'm able to estimate a rehab cost for my own portfolio. So during my journey with the wholesaler, I was able to assign a property down in North Mississippi. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the address or pictures, but the wholesaler got it under contract for $27,000, and I was able to assign it using a real estate agent. They got paid a commission, and I was able to assign it for about $110,000 for the wholesaler. And so we did a double close on that, and so that way it was very clean and easy. But after doing that deal, it made me realize, like, wow, there's a lot of money you can make in wholesaling. I mean, not every single deal we do is going to be a big $70,000 assignment fee or anything like that, but it really showed me there's money to be made here. So after that, it kind of built my confidence up, and I was like, well, I kind of want to separate off from the wholesaler and kind of do stuff on my own. And so I had been going to networking events. I'd been coming to MIG for about 2 years now. I've been volunteering out in the back. And so eventually, I think I was doing 2 or 3 networking events per week. One time, I'd never met Jim before, but Jim came in with a piece of paper, and it had a property, Rainer Street, and that was 1433 Rainer, and that's in South Memphis. And so he had just his asking price, some comps on it, very simple, basic information. I was like, okay, I think I can get a buyer for this. And so I kind of did what I was used to at the wholesaling group. I just kind of found a buyer, assigned it to them, and they walked it, and we got it under contract. Me and Jim sold it. That's what it looked like.
I bought this at a tax sale. I've been sitting on it for 2 years, and I was desperate to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was pretty much my main job, was to connect buyers and sellers. And so this is what I was used to. We walked in, it was in rough shape. I mean, yeah, but the buyer was still happy with it. That's what they do. They buy in that area and they flip them and then rent them out. And then we got it sold for, I believe it was $18,000? 20? No, asking actually said that. I remember it was $20,000.
That's the kitchen, by the way.
And so it really pushed me to kind of pursue more wholesaling on my own. And
We didn't make a killing on
No.
this one.
yeah, it wasn't a huge profit, but it's still a profit. And when you talk to a lot of other wholesalers who have been trying to wholesale for a long time, they struggle with getting things under contract or getting things assigned to a buyer. And this kind of just reinforced my idea that I could do it on my own, And there was actually another property I forgot to mention. It's in the same zip code, 38114. It's a property off of Melrose Street. I had actually found this from the Facebook Marketplace. A wholesaler out of state was like, "Hey, I'm trying to sell it. Like, you want a JV?" And I did, and I actually saved it from foreclosure on Melrose, but I didn't even walk the property. So I was actually visiting my girlfriend in Nashville at the time, And when the buyer got done walking it, they called me and they're like, hey man, we like that Melrose property, but it was infested with fleas. And I was like, oh, better you than me, so y'all still want to buy it or what? They did buy it, and they saved it from the tax sale. I only made about $1,000 on it, but still, I didn't have to walk the property, I didn't have to do anything, just do the paperwork and move on, you know? And then this one, me and Jim worked together on 1860 South Parkway, was a condemned house, so it was in environmental court, and it was being pretty much in the process of being torn down. Jim had been contacting the seller for quite some time.
This was actually a driving for dollars deal.
Yeah, and so we ended up, I sent my buyer over there, and she was able to walk the property. She liked it, and she sent us an offer at, she sent us an offer at 128, and closing costs on this were $1,300, and then we made a profit of almost $25,000 for this one. So, and we split that. And yeah, I mean, this deal, actually, the South Parkway deal, actually kind of led me to becoming a landlord. It allowed me to buy a property out in Westwood that's cash flowing now. And so it kind of sprung me into becoming an investor as well. So basically, wholesaling can be a good catalyst to get capital, to get funding, to understand how to do deals and everything like that. So I definitely recommend wholesaling, and it's gotten me to where I am now. So I'm really happy about that.
And the guy that bought, the people that bought us that house from us have just put it on the market. This is a really good idea. I find houses, he's got